Open this window a bit. Get some fresh air in. Hello. Well, Mr. Hans, you're slowly making it down. Yeah, we'll turn you around and put your hand on the number. There we go. You're on number 10, boy. So, Mr. the Cho, you was headbutting me then, mate. How's it going, huh? How's your morning been? Did you see Monty when you went out this morning? Did you see Monty? Monty is his friend. Yeah, Monty's another dog, a golden retriever. And he's around a little bit older than my boy and you. Ain't he, mate? And now, because I'm talking to you, his dad's going all doolally. But what we are going to be doing today, well, this morning anyway, all right, Charlie boy, is okay. We're going to watch Home Alone of how the movies got made. Because as I said, I love documentaries. And to be honest with you, it's Christmas time now. Home Alone is the essential Christmas movie along with Die Hard. Which, this actually gave me a little bit of an idea for today, because we're not going out the house. But what I think we will do, the last 10, maybe 15 minutes of the vlog, we're going to go over essential Christmas movies that I watch every year. What are you doing? Oh, let's put my boy in the garden. What are you doing, mate? It doesn't actually look like a... Oh, actually, no. Scratch out, it does look like a bad day. So we got a nice bit of blue sky trying to come there. You go over there, look how dark and grey that is. Ugh. Yuck. Charlie boy, it's starting to rain. Come on, do your business. Do your business and come back in, bud. But yeah, it's... yeah, horrible and grey, that's what's coming in. Come on, bud, yeah, it's raining. On the towel. Charlie, I think you made the right call coming in, but it is starting to chuck it down. Great. It's a good thing we're staying indoors, isn't it? So we're going to close this door, get rid of the cold. Not going to lock it, but yeah. But it's also GTA DLC Day, so I'm going to be playing a little bit of that, making a video for the gaming channel, which you will find below for you lovely people if you like GTA and gaming.
Many hours later.
Well, we've just done one video now. We're actually waiting for it to render out, and that is for Grand Theft Auto Mansions, which is absolutely insane, I have to admit. But it's lunchtime now, I believe. What time is it? It is 10 to 12, so I'm gonna go and get something to eat now. And I think when we come back, we'll do the Christmas movies. So we've actually jumped on over now to the main setup with the main camera and everything else, because we are going to be doing our Christmas tier list for movies. Now, a lot of these are mostly from like my era when I grew up, what I grew up with. But there is a couple on here which has kind of like crept in the last couple of years. But obviously, guys, you know, for me, Christmas is my favorite time of year along with Halloween. And with Christmas movies, growing up and remembering the times I used to watch these with my family, with my grandparents mostly, my grandfather, my Grampy Terry, who he is the person I missed the most in this entire world. I love that guy to everything, you know, he was mine, you know, he was my grandfather, and I just wanted to be with him all the time. And some of these films, like the Home Alone 1 and 2, he's the one who took me to go see him in the cinema with my mum and dad and all that. But for like big key moments in my life, Grampy Terry was there with me. But we're going to jump into this now. And obviously, we are going to start off with just straight away S tier, because it is Die Hard. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And I don't care what other people say. It's set at a Christmas party. It is set on Christmas Eve. It is a Die Hard Christmas movie. It is. And it's interesting when you see people like, it's not. And their reason for why it's not a Christmas movie, because it was released in July. Okay. So you're saying that other movies set during the summer, you know, like you had Batman Returns, I got that on here. That's a Christmas movie because it is set at Christmas. That's what I don't seem to understand with certain people. But obviously Die Hard 2 then, that is actually set at Christmas as well. You know, it's set the following year, technically, as they put it. But that is at Dulles International Airport, and it is Christmas Eve. But with Die Hard 2, it is good, but it's not S tier. Now, this is the one I normally start my entirety of my Christmas movie watching with, and that is Home Alone 3. Is it as good as the first two? Hell no. No Home Alone movie is going to be better than the first two. But Home Alone 3 does give it a good try, but it's just entertainment, so we're going to put that one in C. And now, ladies and gents, A Nightmare Before Christmas. So, it's in the title. Christmas is in the title. Where a lot of people, again, they're like, oh, it's more of a Halloween one. It's like, well, it's both, technically. But Nightmare Before Christmas is a huge, huge tradition for everyone around the world. And that has to go in... It has to go in S. It does. You can probably see which movies I'll probably put in S tier straight away, just because of the first two I got in there. But I absolutely love A Nightmare Before Christmas as well. Now, Bill Murray and Scrooged, which, when that came out, I didn't see when it came out, because I would have been like 2 years of age. But in the 90s, when it was on TV here in the UK, I used to love watching it, because it was a different take on the tale of A Christmas Carol. Okie dokie. The gremlins fell over. Anyway, yeah. So, going up though, it was always seen to be cut or censored here in the UK on normal TV if it was shown before 9 PM at night. And it only been in the last, I'd probably say the last 10 or so years, where Scrooged has actually become more traditional here in the UK on normal TV, and it's always uncut now as well, which is great. But for me though, Scrooged is going into B. Growing up, obviously I grew up in the era of Harold and Kumar, and when I saw Harold and Kumar Christmas, a 3D Christmas, I was like, this is going to be great. The first one is amazing. The second one, not too bad, Escape from Guantanamo Bay, but that is A tier for me. It is so much fun, and it is just absolutely brilliant. Now we're coming into the horror of Halloween mixed with Christmas, and obviously one of the big instances for a horror thing at Christmas is Krampus. So, Krampus is a straight up A tier for me straight away. That movie is so much fun. And just because the other people they got in it as well, you got Toni Collette, you got so many other big stars. It's like, yeah, you know what? We're going to jump in to Krampus. And it's got some really, really good visuals. But overall, though, being Christmas, it's just a given for me. Now, as you can see, we're getting into one that was actually around, quite recently. And that is Violent Night, which does star David Harbour, good old Hopper from Stranger Things, as Kris Kringle, Father Christmas, Santa Claus. And this, to me, is just, I went and saw it and I was like, I wasn't expecting much, but I came out of the movie theater and in my mind, I was just like, straight away, that is now a given for every Christmas. It is such a good movie. And I think the best thing about it as well, they talk about Die Hard and Home Alone in this movie. The little girl in it, oh, she is such a star. She was amazing. She goes, I've just watched Home Alone, and she's talking to her dad, and she's saying all the other words, screaming with her face and all that. But then, it's like, wow, this is amazing. And obviously, she did Home Alone traps in the film, which they do cause some deaths, and she's like, oh my god, I didn't realize it was going to be that violent. But it's such a good movie. And it's also got one action sequence where it's just like, oh my god. If you've seen the movie, you know what we're on about. It's got the greatest, one of the greatest Christmas songs being sung. And Santa Claus, Father Christmas, is just wiping out an entire group of mercenaries with a hammer, with ice skates. It is absolutely amazing. Excuse me. And what makes it even better is that this Father Christmas, he was a Viking berserker. He was the guy who you sent in to go and take out every other village first. You know it's going to be great. But yeah, I absolutely love that. So that is S tier for me straight away. Another recent film we've had, and that is Kurt Russell as Father Christmas. And The Christmas Chronicles, both of these movies, which I'm moving both here now, for me, they are going to be in the A tier because they are just so good. And obviously in the first one, it was more about, oh yeah, we're just, Father Christmas, we've lost our father, we're doing this, and they don't believe in Santa, or the younger, or the older kid doesn't. But then the second one, when they added Goldie Hawn as Mrs. Father Christmas, it was amazing. But there for me, those two are there. Now, you can see the rest of the list down below, folks. The majority of all of these here are S tier. For me, anyway, they are just because I've grown up with each and every one of these. And these are the ones, like I said, with my grandfather, my Grampy Terry, Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, and Elf. Those three go into S tier because for the first two Home Alones, my grandfather, along with my mum, my dad, and my sister, we would go and see them. And it was just thinking back. People could be like, oh, that's just nostalgia. No, it's not. When you miss someone so much and you think back to all the great times and what you did together, when I watch these three movies, Elf, Home Alone 1 and 2, I just keep thinking of my grandfather. I feel happy, but I do also feel a little bit upset. Like I feel now because of it, because I'm talking about him. Because that man, he was the greatest thing on this earth. He is what my father called, he was a selfless Christian, even though he wasn't religious. He was the greatest inspiration for someone, if they were a Christian or whatever, if they met my grandfather, they would be like, I want to be like him. I want to be a better human. And thinking of that now, I see I'm standing now. But yeah, my grandfather, loved the man to death, miss him the most, but thinking and watching those movies, I'm just like, he's with me, And Elf, obviously, in the early 2000s when that came out, which they didn't really think it was going to be a big movie. They thought it was going to flop. And when you look, it was Will Ferrell, where at the time, he wasn't exactly a bona fide, oh my God, we need this guy, we're going to pay him 20 million. It was like, Will Ferrell, the guy from Saturday Night Live, the guy who wants more cowbell. That was it. And obviously, Jon Favreau was the director, where he only really did little things before this, and this is way before Star Wars, Marvel, all of this. He did Elf. And again, Elf is just Elf. I love me Elf. Everyone knows I love Elf, Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's just the way that Elf just brought so much Christmas joy to everyone. And now it is classed as a Christmas classic and is in the same sense as the Home Alone movies, the Santa Clauses, and the Christmas Carols. But now we got Disney's Jim Carrey starring A Christmas Carol, which I absolutely do like this film. I don't love it. I like it, which that will go into B for me. But again, no, I saw that in the cinema and it was brilliant. I will say that. It was really, really good. But over the years, when it gets about halfway, 3/4 of the way through, I don't know why, but with this version of A Christmas Carol, it kind of dips. It kind of goes around and it's like, oh, not much here, not much there. Now, The Muppets Christmas Carol. S tier straight away, 1995, this came out, and it literally blew my mind. Because growing up, I would read A Christmas Carol, first of all, say, my grandfather, my mum, my dad, and all that, they would tell me the story of A Christmas Carol, and just seeing how, which is kind of insane, that the Muppets version is one of the best and closest versions to the actual story. It's absolutely amazing. And again, Michael Caine, humbug. Michael Caine as Scrooge was just that one there is like, oh my God, this guy is possibly one of the greatest Scrooges of all time. But Alistair Sim is the best, we all know this. But as you can see, that is in the list below. Now you got Annie, Jingle All the Way. Great fun, great to watch, and obviously, you know, put that cookie down now. It is iconic. It's an Annie classic. It's a movie which, to be honest with you, it didn't really do that well. But at the time, no, he was like, yeah, you know, I think he was coming off of Batman and Robin as well, or they came out like the same year or whatever. And seeing how much Annie put into this movie, you could see he was having a blast making it. And to be honest with you, it is a great family all-round film to watch with everyone. Which we can't really say for the next three. So, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This is, along with Home Alone 1 and 2 and Elf, Christmas staple. This has to be watched. I don't care if you don't like it, you have to watch it. It's that iconic to be with Christmas, you know? Like, even if you don't like it, you have to watch it no matter what. And Chevy Chase, which, if you've watched the movies that made us on Netflix, in the Home Alone episode where Chris Columbus, the director of the Home Alone movies, he was actually first person to be directing A Christmas Vacation. But Chevy Chase, and to be honest with you, we've heard it now for the last 2.5 decades, Chevy Chase seems to be one of those people who thought, I can do what I want, I can get away with whatever I want because I'm the star. And obviously a lot of people got pissed off with him, and Chris Columbus was one of those people. When they were on the set making Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase wouldn't even talk to the director, to Chris Columbus. Chris Columbus would be like, oh, we should do this, we'll try and do it like this, bring some comedy in. And Chevy Chase would be just literally just trying to put him down. He's like, oh, you're the director. I thought you were just a gopher. And that, you know, all this is out there for people to go and see, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, you know, the jolly bunch of nutters this side of the mental hospital, you know, all that is just, it is such a classic movie. It is so good. Now, more for the adults, Bad Santa 1 and 2, but I've only got one here because I thought number 2, I think because it took too long to get a sequel out. But I do love Bad Santa, and for me, that one is going to go into B, because again, you know, these are pretty solid lines already, you know? And seeing how good just the S tier is alone, you know, you can literally just have Die Hard or Home Alone on that, and that is like, yeah, that's it. You know, that belongs there. But remember though, folks, this is my tier list. Gremlins. Another Chris Columbus movie. Well, Chris Columbus directed it. Chris Columbus wrote it, and Joe Dante is the guy who directed it. But again, no, classic, going straight to A. It is so good. Obviously now, It's a Wonderful Life. This movie is the earliest Christmas movie I can remember watching, which is kind of insane to think about. But growing up, I used to watch White Christmas, all the singing and dancing movies because my mother loves all of them. But It's a Wonderful Life, I remember watching that literally when I was about 2 or 3 years of age. It's just ingrained in me. And obviously when he's running through the street at the end, you know, oh, Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas. That part there is just burned into my retinas. And I don't know why. Probably because I watched it at such a young age. But for me, that again is S tier. Batman Returns, folks. So, Batman Returns it's one of those movies where it's better than Batman 89, which I think it is. And overall, it is one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. And remember, back then, this is when superhero movies, if they were being made, they were more 15 or 18 rated here in the UK. You had like Darkman, you had a couple of years later, obviously you had like Spawn and stuff like that, and Blade. But Batman Returns and Batman 89, they're the ones that kind of laid the road for the more adult-orientated superhero movie. But Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. It's my favorite Batman movie. It's my favorite Batman outfit, and everything is just amazing. It goes in S. That is it. Love Actually, guys. Oh, see. So here in the UK, Love Actually is one of those movies where every single person who watches it adores it. Because For some unknown reason, this movie just, it resonated with so many people here in the UK, and everyone just fell in love with it. You know, of course, you know, the writer-director of Love Actually, you know, he is the guy, Richard Curtis. He's the one who wrote Notting Hill, which, in my eyes, Notting Hill is the greatest rom-com that's ever been done, and no one can ever outdo it. Notting Hill is the greatest rom-com ever. But Richard Curtis, he's also the man who created, along with Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean. He's also the one who did Blackadder. He's also the one who created The Vicar of Dibley. A lot, and I mean a lot, of BBC and ITV comedies in the 80s and 90s. Richard Curtis was the man behind them. Hell, he even co-wrote the Bridget Jones movies with Helen, is it Helen Fidelity or Flanagan, whatever? Anyway, yeah, the one who wrote those. And because they are good friends, and she was like, I need you to do it. But Love Actually, straight away in S tier. It just has to go there. So, I've only got one by here, but it's Tim Allen's The Santa Claus, which to me, the trilogy and the TV series, I think is brilliant. The first Santa Claus, you know, when it came out, I was 8 when I saw that, and my mum and dad took me and my sister to go and see it, and it was just so much fun. And obviously around this time, Home Improvement was huge around the world, so Tim Allen was one of the most in-demand stars at the time. But that goes straight to 8. The entire trilogy goes in 8. Now we come down to A Christmas Carol, which I said, Alistair Sim is the greatest Scrooge ever. But the movie is great, but it's not on the S tier for me. Even though it has that, it has to go in A. But like I said, Alistair Sim is the greatest Scrooge of all time. He played it so well. You know, and this one we've had Michael Caine. You've also had Jim Carrey. You know, you got, 2 upcoming movies, which is coming out next year. You got one where Johnny Depp is playing Scrooge, and the other one is bloody Willem Dafoe is playing Scrooge. Those movies are going to be amazing. Mostly because the 2 directors of those movies are 2 of the greatest horror directors at this moment in time. For the Willem Dafoe one, you have Eggers. It's Robert, I can't remember his surname, but Eggers, the guy who recently directed Nosferatu. He's currently directing a werewolf movie with a lot of the same cast from Nosferatu. But the Johnny Depp Christmas Carol, that's being done by Ty West. This guy is the one who gave us the Maxine, Pearl, and X trilogy. So those are going to be absolutely amazing. And I've just realised my camera has turned off. So my camera has turned off, folks, because it has actually overheated. So we're just going to remove that. But guys, that there is my Christmas list for tiers. For tiers? Yeah, for tiers. Yeah, Christmas list tier, yeah. You know what I mean, guys. And now we're going to go back to this. And the funny thing is, as well, with all of this, that obviously my camera is overheated. And again, no, that is my fault. That is my fault. And that is because I actually left the camera on overnight. So I'm not too sure what's going to be happening there. So hopefully it'll cool down. Well, I need it to cool down. But yeah, that is our tier list, folks. Let us know what your tier list is below. We haven't even done the PC cleaning today, which was something I was going to get done. But I kind of got a little bit distracted with a video game with my mate as well. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow. So guys, thank you ever so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Keep going. I'm loving doing these vlogs. It's just been really fun. And it's been nice just to record and just go about my day. You know, folks. But that's what we got there. And I'll see you all tomorrow in the next vlog. Bye-bye.